Black Cuba. Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
Suffice it that the blood of 1,000 men and women was spilled in these walls. Limbs twisted and broken. Eyes gouged from bloody sockets. Flesh burned black.
Please. I'm away from the dead. In death, there are no accidents, no coincidences, no mishaps, and no escapes. What you have to realize is that we're all just a mouse that a cat has by the tail.
The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-published number.
Hey guys, what's up? Oh, man.
Welcome all.
We got a story to tell you guys tonight, man. Let me tell you.
That's pretty crazy. Incidentally, don't play Opeth on your computer or it will crash.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, all right.
the guy that was supposed to be with us tonight, Mr. Horn, Michael Horn from the Meyer Contact, we can't find him. So,
Nowhere to be seen.
So I'm sure it's just a scheduling mix-up.
Yeah,
but we do have someone that graciously decided to step into his place for the first half hour here. His name is Chris Rutkowski, and he has written 6 books. He calls them UFOs. He also calls them PFTs, pesky flying things. He's been a writer and editor of science and technology publications. He's got 6 published books. His newest one just came out. It was co-authored with Jeff Dittman. It's called the Canadian Ufo Report, and it's a chronological review of the most interesting Canadian UFO cases throughout history. This is published by Durden Press, and he's been on a lot of TV series. He's even been in the tabloid Weekly World News. Hey, now that's saying something. But he's also been on Carpe Diem on Talk America, Microsoft Network Radio. All kinds of stuff. CBC's Quirks and Quarks Ideas, the Action Line, Sightings on the radio. He's been everywhere, and now he's on the World of the Unexplained. So I'm gonna bring him on since we don't have a lot of time. He's got to get to another radio program, one of our competitors. So Chris, how you doing?
Very well. How is everybody out there?
Oh, pretty good, Chris. Pretty good.
Well, Chris, we talked just briefly on the telephone about how there may be some differences between the sightings reported of UFOs in the United States and those reported in Canada. What do you think about all that?
Well, I think that there are some basic differences. There's a lot of similarities. Up here in Canada, the reporting system is very different. For example, in Canada, you've probably heard of the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. They're the equivalent, I suppose, in some ways of the CIA. And what happened was that because there were some scientists working for the government wanting to find meteors and actually fallen meteorites on the ground, they thought that if they got the RCMP to track down reports and interview people who had seen these fireballs and meteors in the sky, they'd be able to find the meteorites on the ground. So the RCMP, the Mounties, were actually investigating UFO reports of lights in the sky for the government in Canada for many years, and those files are actually readily available going back into the 1950s all the way up into 1995. And after that, they were sort of getting out of it. The government was not doing as much research into meteorites, and they sort of said, well, let's shut down this operation. The government's not supposed to be involved in UFOs anyways. And they said, well, let's try and find an astronomer, because the reports were still coming in. And because of my background in astronomy, and I was working at a university, they said, well, maybe you'd like to take the reports. And I said, sure, why not? They were interested. I've always been interested in space and stuff growing up. And so I started getting the government UFO reports. So even just as recently as, 3 days ago, I received a UFO report from a Canadian Forces base in British Columbia from someone who had seen a brilliant fireball streaking through the sky, green changing to orange, moving very slowly, then changing direction. And I got that through various official channels and emailed directly to me. So there's a slight difference in the way things are being reported up in Canada. If you can imagine the CIA investigating UFO reports and those files being readily available, and now the equivalent of, I suppose, the NSA sending the reports to a civilian investigator like myself. That's how it is up here.
Huh.
That's a big difference.
Now, do you have a website we can go to see some of your stuff here?
Yeah, there's actually a website that has what we've called the Canadian Ufo Survey, and what's happened is since about 1989, we've been looking at all the reports that were coming in right across the country from one end to the other through civilian investigations, government investigations, letters, media reports, and so forth. And we put it all together every year. We've been putting out the data and an analysis since the late 80s. And that site is survey.canadianuforeport.com.
Okay, survey.canadianuforeport.com.
Right. And people have actually been able to also send reports directly to us via email, of course, since a number of years ago. And that's simply Canadian Ufo Report at hotmail.com.
Oh, okay.
No. Simple enough.
It's good that you guys pay for that. All right, survey.canadianuforeport.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
And our book is listed on a site called, well, it's on Amazon for one thing, Amazon.com. Just look up Canadian Ufo Report, and you'll find us there. And what we've done, we've gone through all the reports. Even beyond we started the survey back in the 80s, we've gone back as far as we found believe it or not, records of missionaries in their travels through North America back into the 1600s.
Okay. Are you with us, Chris?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh my
great.
gosh, I am
sorry about that. We're back, guys.
Sorry, listeners.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a night.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that. God. Okay, where were we at, Chris? I'm sorry. Where were we at? We were talking about the different sightings. We were talking about
some of the sightings, right?
We were talking about where to get your book at, and
right.
you might want to repeat that. Amazon.com.
Yeah, it's on Amazon.com if you look up Canadian Ufo Report.
Okay.
And
we're gonna go. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and bring him back up there.
Third time's a charm.
Third's a charm's what they say. Chris, sorry about that. Yeah, we're going to have 5 minutes, and then we're going to have to break, which means you'll have to go, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's how it's going to work, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
I am so sorry,
you were talking about the missionaries. Can we go back to that?
Yeah, the missionaries back in the 1600s were traveling with some Indian tribes and had seen some fiery serpents, as they described it back then, and wrote in their journals. And there are objects been seen in the sky overall in North America, but as it was opening up, people reported more and more things. And in our book, we chronicle all the old stuff going right up to the new stuff, and we have stuff as recently as a large UFO seen over the Yukon in 1996, seen by dozens of people up and down a river valley, or rather a lake valley.
Uh-huh.
And in 1967, there was some really great cases in Canada. There was a crash of a UFO off the coast of Nova Scotia, and that same year there was something that landed in Manitoba, where a prospector had actually walked up and touched the side of an object. This thing took off and burned him. That was actually investigated by the Condon Report and the United States Air Force, and the U.S. Air Force itself decided in their report that this thing was unexplained. So, we have some fascinating cases up here, and we've tried to chronicle them. And the way the Canadian reporting system works is a little different than the American method, but, the idea is to get information out there. And we've tried to work with as many investigators as possible, and we want to get the information out to people who are interested in this phenomena, and also to the people who have seen things, because we know, according to polls, that about 10% of the North American population believe they've seen UFOs, and that's a lot of people.
Oh yeah, that's a ton of people.
Yeah.
And it seems like these things. It seems like more and more people every year are reporting them. Ever since Dan Aykroyd's even come out with his own video thing now. Dan Aykroyd on UFOs. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm sure you have.
Yeah, and So we have several thousand reports now on file, and we publish these on the internet so that people can get an idea what is being seen, to feel that they're not alone, because they're not alone. There are many people. We get reports from air traffic, doctors, lawyers, butchers, bakers, candlestick makers, you name it, people are reporting them.
I hear that. What do you think they are?
Well, we don't have the smoking gun. I can't say that these are definitely the alien spaceships. We can explain a huge number, a huge proportion, only about 3 or 5% every year aren't explainable, and even then, they're just not enough proof to say that they're alien spaceships or anything else. All we know and all we can say scientifically is that we're not sure, but definitely deserves a lot more scientific attention.
I definitely agree with that.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, and if there isn't a physical phenomenon, there's at least a psychological and a sociological phenomenon, and in any of those cases, science should be taking a closer look. And the only way to approach this is with an open mind, and unfortunately, these days, if you have too open of a mind, your brains tend to fall out. And we're seeing a lot of gray matter on the sidewalks these days.
Wow, that's a good soundbite right there. I think I'm going to use that. All right, well, you got 45 seconds, Chris. I hate to do it to you. I'd love to have you on the whole time, but I know you've got to be at another competing radio show. So I don't even know who you're going on. What show are you going on to, Chris?
Actually, I'm going on something called CJOB, which is an internet show in Canada.
Oh, okay, great, awesome. Well, all right. Well, Chris, 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Keep watching the skies. Astronomers know that there's life out there somewhere. Whether it's coming here, we just simply don't know. The truth may be out there, but we're stuck in here.
Wow.
Okay.
In the immortal words of that commercial, not cool. I don't know what commercial.
This is definitely not cool. No. I can't hear myself.
Well, I haven't turned down. It's all good, man.
Okay. Well,
Chuck is.
I think we might have solved the problem.
Chuck is not liking tonight. Neither are we.
No.
It's been a weird night. We can't blame it on him tonight, though.
No, absolutely not.
Unfortunately, we like to blame things on Chuck when it doesn't work. It's really usually not his fault. It's fun to have a scapegoat. Yeah, he may have actually fixed it tonight. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, guys, 800-960-2289. I got out of the chat room because I can't be in it because some network issues that I've got going on here.
I think that's the problem, actually.
He's probably keeping us out.
I'm going to stay off it on this one, too.
Yeah,
so the chat room basically is
tonight,
for you guys and not for us.
So y'all can talk all kinds of crazy trash about us tonight.
Say all the
evil
things you ever wanted to say about WOTU, and we won't know.
We won't care.
What's that right
that's
there?
Nice, isn't it? That's great.
Let's just
yeah, it just gets better and better on the show.
We hadn't heard that for at least 30 minutes.
I know. Of course not. But now we do.
Why don't we just? Wow.
Let's just continue to make some noise. That's just great. That's just great. Keep on. The children of the night. What's the line? How there's beautiful voice or something.
Oh, well, that's certainly not either one of us.
Man. Oh God.
Right now, you're sounding better, Scott.
Thanks, man. I feel better.
Yeah.
Other than my gimp leg, and then I chipped my front tooth. There's a. See this, guys? Can you tell?
Ah!
Oh, I do see.
Yeah, I look like one of those rednecks from Georgia. Oh, sorry, Raymond. I saw you in the chat room there earlier. They're coming on the next show. They're from Georgia, actually. No offense, guys. No. Anyway, I'm kidding. But no, I look like it's
Scott, don't show it again. I saw it the first time.
Yeah, it's been a cap. It's been filled in a long time ago, and that's.
Well, what happened? Was it a fist fight in a bar, maybe?
No, I was actually chewing one of my fingernails, and it just broke off. Man.
Scott, you should have said it was a fist fight in a bar.
No, these things are only good for usually 3-4 years. I think this is actually held up for about 6. I need to really just get a crown and just get it done right. But me and my wonderful job prospects and opportunities.
Is it raining outside?
The money we make here at the show is so lucrative.
Yeah. Chuck, get back to counting the cash.
I think that's what fell over back there.
Yeah.
It was a pile of money. Oh, you know what?
Was the money
I think some of the money actually caught on fire back there, and we had to move it. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. We are really, really sorry. I guess that's really all we got to say.
If you're listening in Texas, Ed, the program director there in Wellington, we apologize for the.
Seriously, I mean,
this thing has crashed on us tonight. What?
4 times?
7 times? Yeah, it was awful. And we also want to apologize to our first guest, Chris Rutkowski.
Yeah, who we only talked to for about 8 minutes.
Yeah, probably. And we apologize again too because we had a good guest scheduled for tonight.
And we
had no idea. Well, you see, I emailed him last week.
Uh-huh.
Because he had like some date on there like Wednesday September 3rd, he was supposed to be on our show. Well, today's actually Monday, September 4th. I don't know what calendar he's using. It's not the one we are. Must be that UFO thing getting into I don't know. I'm kidding. But
You kid.
I do kid. But, yeah, so we're trying to pull things together. We've got one guy that's going to be coming on here. His name is, hang on, Ian Baird. He's going to come on here.
Ian Baird.
Yeah, he's coming on in 15 minutes after the break, at 9 Eastern. And he's going to talk about some haunting experiences that happened in his Missouri household.
Hey, that's fun.
Yeah, it should be fun.
What part of Missouri was it? You don't
It's
know?
the St. Louis area. I believe.
Oh, okay.
And he everything's near St. Louis in Missouri, though, right? I'm
You know,
kidding.
Scott, this kind of reminds me of that road trip we took to Missouri where, your car totally just shut off.
Mm-hmm.
And you were driving Terry's truck, and I was back there and slowly lagging behind
why?
because...
Let me tell you, I got a good story about this.
Okay.
Chuck knows the guy I'm talking about.
All right.
I used to work at Sears when I was in college in the automotive department, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, you know what? Tune-ups are expensive, man. You know, if you do tune-ups, they're expensive. Well, I was gonna do it myself, because I worked in the auto department. I should know what I'm doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I did. I did.
Uh-huh.
So me and a friend of mine, Brandon, Chuck, you know Brandon.
Yeah,
And
cool guy.
Now Brandon, he knows a lot more about cars than
Right.
I ever
he's
will.
pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we get there to his house to change it out, and what happened is we didn't have a screwdriver, one of the little short ones to get into the rotor button. So we tightened it up as best as we could with a long screwdriver. We really need a shorter one to really get down
Right.
into the area good. And well, we was like, oh, it's tight enough. Well, of course it decides to come off while Trent's driving my car in Missouri, following me.
Well, it was actually northern Tennessee in Clarksville.
It was because it was near Nashville, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Clarksville is the name of the town.
I don't know. We stayed at some Days Inn or something.
Yeah, and they just...
800-960-2289.
Or 336-996-1596.
That's it.
Like I said, you can't really post questions on the chat room tonight because neither of us are on it.
Yeah.
Basically,
You'll have to
none of
call
us.
in.
Can you pass that ashtray?
No.
Thanks. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna stare at it.
But yeah, so we stayed in, where was it? Clark's?
I think it was Clarksville. I don't know. I mean, Clarktown, Clarksville. Maybe it was Clarktown. It was north of Nashville. And basically the car just cut off, and it was kind of scary. And if it weren't for our trusty, handy dandy walkie-talkies, because I don't think I even had a cell phone at the time, and I would
You don't have one now. What's new?
yeah, that's a good one. Anyway,
it's called pay the bill, dude. Pay the bill. They cut them off when you don't pay the bill. You know that? They're gonna cut mine off next week. It's okay.
They should, Mr. Smart Talker.
That's
anyway, but yeah, and so it was really bad and kind of scary, but my whole point about that really rambling and not very interesting story was the fact that it reminded me of tonight, basically. Just something unexpected happened.
It's unexplained.
And, yeah. And, and basically, bad things happen. Michael Horn.
People.
Michael Horn doesn't show up. The guest we get at the last minute. We only talked 8 minutes. But I'm done with that. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's just talk about nice.
So
good.
tonight we're having open lines. 800-960-2289.
Whatever
open
you guys want
lines.
to talk
Open
about.
mic.
Open mic.
Yeah, 336-996-1596.
We've got open lines. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's my best Art Bell
was
impersonation.
not really all that good.
Open lines.
No, that
Yeah.
really wasn't that good, Scott.
We've got
Well, you
obviously
tried.
so many
and I
people
haven't,
listening
so.
on the Labor Day.
It was Ed Sullivan.
Oh, it's
weekend.
Labor Day.
Yeah, that's why we got so many people calling in.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
normal, they usually light up off the.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't lie to you guys that listen normally. Y'all know better. Y'all just sit there and listen. I don't know what y'all do. Are y'all playing solitaire when you listen to our show?
Possibly, those computer games. Those things are really addictive. But talk about whatever you want to.
Yeah.
We would really like to hear a very interesting
Call in.
story of interest.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, tell us about your week in the paranormal world, Trent.
My week in the paranormal world. Well,
what'd you do this week, paranormal wise?
Not a whole lot. Actually, I was reviewing the Michael Horn DVD thing that we were watching.
Yeah.
I'd actually watched it a couple of times, getting notes for tonight's interview. Actually,
It worked out well for you, didn't it?
it sure did. I have a few other questions right there.
Go ahead and ask me. I'll pretend to be Michael. You ask me the questions and I'll answer.
No, that's all right.
Okay, come on, man.
No,
I
I'm
know
not
the
gonna do
stuff,
it.
man. Cold.
Anyway, as far as other paranormal stuff, no, I didn't see UFOs, ghosts, Sasquatch, Loch Ness Monster, or Chupacabra, or what are some other things? The Bladenborough Vampire Beast, because I'm not in Bladenborough.
You know what we should do?
What's that?
We should just like call people at random, like our friends and stuff. Just call them on the phone.
That'd be fun. Who do you want to call?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Call Bailey.
That'd be good. Chuck? Okay, you want to call Bailey?
No, not really. I'm just kind of funny.
It would actually be kind of funny. Chuck, do you have any paranormal
happenings this week?
Tales of interest that you might want to share with them?
I'm afraid no ghost.
He ain't afraid of no ghost.
Well, I guess that could qualify.
He likes the girls. Yeah. We've got that. We could play that audio clip right now if we wanted to.
We could.
Don't.
I'm really afraid of touching this Sam thing.
We don't.
Though.
Yeah, I'm afraid of it too.
Honestly.
Yeah, I can't believe this thing's crashed as many times.
How many times did it crash? No. Because I'm not talking about it anymore. It's working fine now. Yep. Okay, and we're done talking about it.
We dropped the elbow on it. It's fixed.
Yeah. I think we
give it the smackdown, the WWE smackdown.
I could give my Chewbacca impersonation. It's really good.
That'd be good. Go for it.
Well, I mean, you got to be Han Solo, or somebody does. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me prepare a little bit for it.
All right.
All right. Go ahead and just say.
Punch it, Chewie.
Good.
That is good.
Yeah, it is.
That's a great sound. We should put that in our promo.
I mean, seriously.
Punch it, Chewie.
I mean, honestly.
Let's try it again. Let's make sure it gets recorded good.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go. All right, everybody ready for this?
Okay.
And then after Trent and I do this, we're going to take your best Chewbacca impression here, 800-960-2289. All right, here we go.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Punch it, Chewie. Oh, the phone line's ringing. I'm sorry. Caller, you're on World of the Unexplained.
Is this World of the Unexplained?
It is. Do you have a Chewbacca impersonation for us?
That's awesome.
Wait.
Good. Do I win something?
Yeah, sure. You always win here if you call. This thing is crashed tonight.
Do I get a W or a WOTU T-shirt?
No, we don't have any.
Oh, well,
we have them in the warehouse.
Yeah,
over there.
Near the stacks of money.
There,
I haven't unpacked the boxes yet.
Yeah, it's all Chuck's.
It's behind the money, and we've got to we count all of it.
You're gonna send me like a permanent marker so I can write it on my shirt.
A Hainesway T-shirt.
That's right. We just write.
No. We'll do that for you.
We write WOTU on it and sign it and send them out. That's what we do.
Okay.
They're all personalized. See. You can't get that from.
You guys are having kind of a interesting night tonight, huh?
Yeah, we are.
I'd call it that. Yeah.
Yeah, to say the least, we are.
Yeah, we can't even get in the chat rooms without everything crashing around. So I don't know what's going on. We'll have to get Chuck to look at it or something.
Well, I think the universe is telling you to slow down.
Yeah.
Possibly. But when have we ever listened to the universe?
That is true. All right. Well, do that Chewbacca impersonation.
Yeah, let's hear it again. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Punch it, Chewie.
I think the first one was better.
Yeah,
no.
I think the first one was better too.
Well, I think they're both
kind of into the ghostly sound, huh?
Yeah.
Well, they're both pretty good, I say.
All right, Laura. Well, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, seriously.
Alrighty.
We're gonna open up our line. We got like 17 people trying to get in to talk to us tonight, so we're gonna. Okay.
Gosh, I feel left out.
No. You did the Chewbacca impersonation.
That's right.
You get the prize.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Bye. 800-960-2289. We want to hear your Chewbacca impersonation right here on World of the Unexplained. All right, Trent. Here we go again.
Hold on. Okay.
You got to get yours back.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Punch it, Chewie.
Oh, that might have been the best one yet.
And he has to do like that, because you all know that Chewbacca doesn't really actually mess with the buttons. He just
slaps them.
He actually just hits the panel. Really, like I want to hit, like I want to hit the SAM program right now. If it were a physical object, But see, that's how I call the Chewbacca approach to home repairs, which is basically hit things.
I hear that.
Yeah.
If the door's not working,
hit it.
Yeah, and it'll work fine. TV's not working,
hit it.
All right.
That's right. That's our motto here. Hit it.
Behringer board's not working,
hit it.
Yep. But it's
All right.
working, so I'm not going
We
to.
drop the elbow on it.
That's
Yeah.
right. Chuck will break bad on it.
Anyway,
We got 5 minutes, and then we're gonna take our break, and
Yeah,
then,
that was
we'll
really
get a guest on.
utterly
again.
pointless.
Yeah.
Chuck, do you have any kind of neat impersonations you want to share with the class?
None I can think of offhand, man. Sorry.
Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. I think I may know the. Go.
I don't know if I can do it because my voice is still screwed up. But, you know, Cleveland from The Family Guy.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Okay, let me see if I can do this. I usually do it pretty good. Now I go.
Now come on, it's acting, Scott. Let's do it.
I'm trying to think of something to say. Hello, I can't do it. I can't do it now. See, I'm thinking too hard. I'm overthinking.
Just talk about the show and why it's causing so much problems.
I can't.
It's just a prompting for you, you know.
Yeah, I just don't think I can do it right now.
Oh my gosh, Scott!
Yeah.
I did Chewbacca, and you're not going to do
Chewbacca's
Cleveland?
different from Cleveland, man.
How?
It's hard, man.
How
Chewbacca's
is-
easy, man.
No,
It's just like a
not.
roar.
He's got
Well,
There's a lot of
feminine
there's a lot of
thing.
emotion and communication in that roar.
I
Scott.
understand. Quagmire. I can't do it. See, I can't. Hello, Quack. I can't do it now, man. I can't. Yeah, I mean, you've heard me do this
You're
before.
just taunting people now, you know.
It's really
I can
funny.
hear it in your voice, man. It wants
You-
to do it.
it wants. Just let go. Relax.
Lois. Hello, Lois. This is Cleveland. I can't. It's not working tonight, man. Yeah. God Almighty. Wow, how the mighty have fallen. Yeah.
No, we were mighty.
I'm just getting into my peroration. I can't do it. I just can't do it. This is awful. Oh my God.
We absolutely have nothing. I mean, you know, we just don't have a contingency plan, Scott.
I know.
I mean, we have
should.
one. We have guests, but I mean, guests plus massive technical failures.
We need
As
to
much
escape capsule up in
You
here.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying, as much BS as we talk, though, you'd think we'd have something.
Well, I mean, there's nothing much to say. I mean, you know, we have the what
Oh
what's
wow,
that?
it's working. The SAM program's responding. Yeah, it's working. Ooh,
take a-
someone save me if you will, and take away all the pills.
You're hopped up on him tonight.
Yeah.
I feel I'm in rare form tonight.
Yeah.
Much of the time
the nice,
go by.
nice draw
Nice
in the
and
voice.
easy does it every time.
Scott, why don't you sing some Jay in the
Flaming.
Americas? Sing some Jay in the
Only
Americas.
in America, the land of opportunity. Yeah. That's some good stuff, man.
No, their name is Jay in the Americans.
Yeah, and they replace Jay every few years. And
No,
I think they
didn't
might
they
have
do-
replaced the Americans. as
Yeah,
well
didn't they
every
do that to
few years.
Menudo also?
Yeah, but Menudo was
Well, I mean, it's a
Papa
similar.
Mau Mau guy from the.
You know, I know.
Oh, they
one of
replaced
the,
him
I,
too?
I know one of the guys that was in Menudo.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, he's a recording artist, right?
Yeah. He's with Inner Voice now
Wow.
in Miami. Yeah.
That's really strange.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the analogy is they replaced people. You know.
Yeah, they replace him every so many
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
Well, that's really what
Yeah.
they may replace us somehow. Whoever.
Oh, of course not.
No.
Our dedicated fan base of callers, never.
Never.
We can't even give away free stuff. Call
Well,
in,
we
we'll
have-
give you free things. The line's dead. Is it plugged up? Yeah, it's plugged up, man. Yeah, all right.
We'll
yeah.
give you bars of gold and emeralds.
Yeah, and it'd
Line's
still be
still
dead.
dead.
Everybody's like, yeah, we don't care. Yeah, they're
Crown
dead.
jewels of England. Don't worry how we got them.
That's right.
Line's dead.
Yep, line's dead. 800-960-2289.
Or. That's when you add the other number.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
Well, okay.
I don't care.
336-996-1596.
Yeah.
Not sure how I said that. That was like a.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott. Don't do
I
that.
can't do my rap.
No.
We haven't put Sanford on yet.
No.
We haven't set the mood.
I know the
I
lyrics
mean,
this
you know,
time.
you just can't go into
I've
that
got the
stuff.
lyrics this time,
you can't,
Chuck.
No, you just can't go into that dry
That's
stuff.
right. I got the lyrics to Sanford and Son this time, baby. I got the lyrics. We're gonna be back in 6, whatever. Guys, we're out. We'll be back in a little bit with a guest. I promise. He's coming with us. Ghost stories right after this.
See you in a bit.
Every Halloween at midnight, the devil simultaneously appears in 2 places: the high plains of India and a quiet cemetery in Kansas. It's November 2nd, The Day of the Dead. 2 federal marshals report to the small town of Shinbone, Kansas, moments after a tornado warning, to transport a prisoner with no past, no identity. He is known only as Sin Jin Smith. Starring Roddy Piper, Richard Tyson, Jonathan Davis, Kevin Gage, Gary Casper, John Philbin, Billy Duffy, Charles Cyphers, and Eileen Dietz. Check out the movie that critics are calling one of 2007's most anticipated horror films by visiting www.sinjinsmith.com. That's www.sin-jinsmyth.com. Sin Jin Smith is a Snapkick Productions film, written and directed by Ethan Detmeyer. Coming soon to a theater near you.
And we're back here on World of the Unexplained. Guys, we've got a special treat for you tonight. A guy by the name of Ian Baird, who lives in Missouri. His house has been checked a total of 3 times by a Missouri paranormal team. Ian also is in a band called Spring Clock Wonder. We'll talk about that maybe a little later. But go ahead and bring him on. Ian, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, great. We can barely hear you, but Chuck's going to fix that problem here in just a second.
Oh, no problem. Just one correction. I live in Illinois, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see Missouri on here, so.
Yeah, I'm about an hour east of St. Louis, so,
Okay.
So I commute back and forth, but we're kind of right there on the border.
Okay.
Okay. Well, tell us about what happened. Well, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Tell us about what's going on in your house, man. When was the house built and all that good stuff?
Well, the house was built in 1926, or between 1926 and 1928, as far as we can tell, although there's no official record of the house being built, which is kind of strange. Aside from that, we've lived here for about 2.5 years, and shortly after we moved in, I have a wife and 2 children. We all started having experiences, but separately. No one was talking to each other about it until about 3 or 4 months passed by, and then my wife and I kind of started to corroborate some information, but we've had a variety of experiences, from voices to footsteps to mist to something trying to open doors, to banging, to actual apparitions that both of my children have seen separately. I mean, it's just been kind of a variety of stuff. Our dog going crazy, looking at things that aren't there. I mean, it's just been kind of one thing after another. Though I do want to say, like, we've never felt threatened by it. It just kind of is. So I don't want anyone to think that we're in some sort of that we're in harm's way or anything.
And when did you first decide to get a team out there to look into some of the stuff going on?
I guess it was probably about a year ago. We had kind of toyed around with the idea and talked about it every once in a while, but it's probably about a year ago that we finally decided, well, let's see if we can, get a more official stamp on this. So they wound up doing 3 separate trips out here to gather all the evidence that they wanted to gather, and the evidence that they gathered varied from the thermocoupler varying from 7 to 9 degrees in a single space, which was kind of interesting. To we had loud bangs and stuff when they were here. They had a sensitive here who she picked up on a couple different energies.
Sensitive, is that it's like a medium, I'm assuming?
Well, she didn't claim to be a full-blown medium.
Uh-huh.
She was more of a sensitive. She didn't claim any sort of incredible like psychic abilities. No, she wasn't a fortune teller or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
Just someone who was sensitive to spiritual activity is what she claims. And I know that there's not a lot of science behind that, so I have to admit the jury's still kind of out on that aspect of it for myself.
I understand.
But aside from that, they did get numerous EVPs, which were pretty interesting.
Okay. What do you know what some of them said, or have you guys you concur on the results of what they said, or you still?
No, they actually sent me the EVPs, which was kind of cool.
Okay.
So we could go through them ourselves, and I do a lot of recording here at home, so I was able to go through and import them and play with the EQ, so I could pull as much out of them as I possibly could. But one of the first ones was this voice that, in a very sinister tone, kind of said, "Don't touch me." When 2 of the women investigating were talking about going to another room, and then the same 2 women were going to go upstairs, and the girl turns to the other girl and says, "Are you ready to go up?" And all of a sudden you hear this voice say, "No, I can see you." which was pretty interesting. There's a couple real wispy sounding whispers, like just real airy, and it's hard to tell exactly what it's saying. And then there's also a couple that really sound like a child's voice, and just for the record, my stepson was not here that weekend, and my daughter was with a babysitter as well, because we didn't want to expose them to these weird people walking around their house or whatever.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
good old family fun paranormal hunt every now and then.
Exactly. And so anyway, there was a couple times where we heard a kid's voice, and it didn't sound like it was in pain or anything, but once again, it's kind of like I really can't tell exactly what it's saying. Okay. But the couple that we got that there's definite speech, those kind of make your skin crawl a little bit, but when you get thinking about it, it's just kind of like, I think that it's not necessarily that there's in particular houses that are haunted. I think it's just some areas are more prone to that sort of thing, and you've got to live where you live, so there's no point in being in fear of it.
That's true.
How long have you lived there?
2.5 years.
Okay.
And when did this stuff start?
For all of us, it was pretty much instantaneously. I'd say within the first few weeks that we were here.
Huh.
My one child saw kind of a black shadowy apparition with no feet. It's kind of like a film loop haunting. Kind of does the same thing every time. Turns, looks at this doorway that leads to the second floor, and then disappears. Both kids have seen a little girl in my daughter's room. And my wife has been the one who's seen more of the mist rolling through the room. I personally have not seen that. I've definitely heard voices 2 separate times, and then we don't use our second floor, and frequently we hear footsteps walking around upstairs. But we keep a door sealed to the upstairs because no one's occupied upstairs for probably like 20 or 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Do you have you done much research on the previous occupants of the house, or any other kind of stories?
We're in a small town that's also a college town, and there was a point when this house was split up into like 3 different apartments, and it's not that way anymore. It's been put back to a complete house, but because there were so many different people in and out of this house, it's really next to impossible to find out who in the world lived here. Okay. The only thing that we know is that we have neighbors a couple doors down, and her parents at one point lived here when it was cut up into apartments, but they were here for a really short period of time, and they couldn't remember anything in particular, any sort of tragedy, at least not that happened to them, or any experiences. So we really can't determine what the source is at this point. What would have caused these things to leave their imprint here? I'm not sure.
Right, and that might actually explain the wide variety of experiences that you find too, if there are multiple individuals and personalities.
Yeah, I would definitely say that there's 2 to 3 different energies here.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could safely say that. But I don't know. I think the more you live with it, the more you just realize. I think what we consider supernatural is really not so supernatural. It's actually quite natural. We just don't know how to perceive it. I mean, it's just part of our reality. So.
What do your folks think of this?
What's that?
What do your parents think of this when they come out and visit? Family members, relatives, friends?
My dad, him and I have only talked briefly about it a couple times. He believes it because he grew up having experiences. So, when I explain to him some of the stuff that we've seen or heard or whatever, he's always kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. Aside from that, I'm not real close to most of my family, so I really haven't had to deal with them thinking I'm crazy or not. So.
Well, what about your friends? What about friends that come by?
I'd say that I had a couple friends, real close friends of mine, who do not believe in that sort of thing. They think it's all crap, and it's gotten to the point though where both of them have heard the footsteps, and both of them have had the chills and the cold spots, and it's made them converts, I guess you could say. My friend, his wife, she doesn't like to really sleep here at night unless he is here with her, because of things that she hears when she's sleeping out in the living room on her sofa sleeper. Like me and my wife will be back in her bedroom or whatever, and I think it gives her the willies a little bit. So.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
So you wow, that's creepy. So are you a religious person?
when I was younger, I'm 31 now, so I'm not too terribly old, but old enough. When I was younger, I did go to like an Assemblies of God church, which was like a Pentecostal church. And what's really funny about that is, to know me now, I'm such a polar opposite from anything that sort of thing stands for. And I used to be, a pretty devout, I guess, quote unquote, born again Christian. And
those Pentecostals are very fiery people in general. I mean, they're up and they're very, very vocal, very excited, very animated.
Yeah, judgmental and pharisaical are words that I think are probably a bit more suiting to describe them, but that's just an opinion.
Oh, we're trying to be.
No, you guys got to show the house. I understand. So.
But that's just odd to see coming from a background like that now to not, because I was wondering if you thought about it, maybe a demonic influence being behind any of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. As I've gotten older, I don't really consider myself a Christian because I've just done a lot of reading, a lot of research, and I see a lot of validity in a lot of different religions and a lot of different spiritual ideas from around the world. And the one thing that I see that is quite striking that I don't think enough people talk about is the similarities between Buddhism and Christianity and the Muslim faith and Hinduism. And, there's a lot of interconnectedness there, which I know some people deem as blasphemy, but I'm just kind of fascinated by, I think in a lot of ways we're all striving for the same thing. We just somehow can't get over killing each other over it. But being that...
Oh, come on. It's fun to kill for oil.
Oh, my
right?
gosh.
Yeah.
Light them up, George. I'm paying $2.50 at the pump here. I'm paying, actually, to what, $2.59? I think it's gone down some.
No, it ain't going down anymore.
This has got nothing to do with ghosts, Scott.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
By the way.
I'm just making a political statement.
I know you
total
are.
Jerk, but
and I'm trying to.
I know. We're just having fun here. We're just having fun. So, now you're also a songwriter and a musician in a band called Spring Clock Wonder.
That's one of my bands.
Oh, one of your
bands.
Okay. What's the other one?
I'm also in a band called The Glare of Day, which we're playing a show tomorrow night in St. Louis. I'm also in Happy Gemini 3, and then I have 2 recording projects. One's called Phalo and one's called Omnibus.
Wow. You're certainly very busy in the musical world.
I also do session work for other people on top of that. And, and whatnot. I'm playing a cover band for, quick cash here and there, that band's on station. But Spring Clock Wonder and The Glare of Day are the 2 main things.
Oh, okay.
Huh. So you're playing tomorrow night then?
Yeah, we're playing at Cicero's in St. Louis, Missouri, down on Delmar, and it's like an all-ages show. It's 4 bands. We're the 4th band, and I think the show starts around 8:30 Central Time.
All right, so anybody listening in that area, go see him.
Go see him.
Show.
Come out. He'll talk. I'm sure you'll talk to anybody about any of these experiences openly.
Oh, man, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't be on your show if I really felt like I had something to hide.
That's true. That's true.
That's a good
Fair
point.
enough.
I think it's at a point in society, going back to like where my spirituality kind of wound up, I think we're at a point in society where people are a bit more open to, this kind of a conversation, because I think more and more people are just coming out and going, look, I'm experiencing something, whether it be ghost or the UFO phenomenon or, there's a multitude of things where people are just going, look, there's some sort of strangeness occurring that science can account for, and I don't think that, at least I think we're at a point in society where this is happening enough and often enough where people are feeling more and more comfortable coming out and talking about it. So it's really not an issue to me. I mean, a lot of people think I'm wacko, but I wasn't put on God's earth to please everyone, so it's okay.
A lot of people think our show's wacko too, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. I mean, then we're a good pair, so.
800-960-2289. Call in and speak with Ian. He'll be more than happy to talk to you about his paranormal experiences or normal experiences.
Yeah. Either one.
Absolutely.
What are the so you have this team come out and investigate. I guess what were their conclusions, or is there really a final word on all this?
Well, there was a final word. Their final word between they had 5 different. It was a guy and a girl were the main kind of nucleus of the team, and then they had 3 other kind of satellite people that were in and out. And the conclusion that all 5 of them came to was that the house was definitely active. Now, they couldn't pinpoint, what the spirit's name was or anything like that. There was no specifics other than we've gotten enough EVPs. We've seen the thermocoupler go bonkers. A couple of them got the cold spells. They were doing a call and response. They asked, hey, if you're in this house, bang one time. We were all down on the first floor. This huge bang happened upstairs, and they had a laptop with a microphone upstairs recording audio and 2 voice recorders downstairs recording audio and a video camera. And the funny thing is that the only thing that recorded on any of those was everyone's reaction to, like, oh my word, and the bang did not record on any of those audio devices at all, which was really bizarre.
Yeah.
So things like that happening, I mean, I don't think they could do anything but come to the conclusion that, okay, there was no one up there. We didn't make that noise. I mean, there's enough here. So, they were definitely, and they asked us if we'd be open to them coming out at some other time, and we said, well, maybe down the road, but I think you've sussed this out enough for what we were wanting to know.
So we've got a caller here.
Cool.
Caller, you're on with World of the Unexplained. How are you?
I'm good.
Ah, it's Laura.
Me again.
Hey, Laura.
Hi.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, I wanted to tell you, since you weren't in the chat room, I sent you the EVPs that Ian had gotten from the
Oh, that's awesome.
group.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
they're in your email, so if you want to play
we would play them, but I'm afraid everything might crash. We try to get them.
Yeah,
since we've crashed like
we're
7
walking on
times
eggshells
tonight,
right now.
We're not touching anything right now. Everything's running, so it's just like, we're leaving everything alone. We're afraid we're gonna crash again, and
Okay.
But we appreciate it.
Are you guys using Windows machines?
Oh yes.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yes. He must be a Mac fan.
Oh, he's probably a Pro Tools user, too.
I'll put that side away, but yeah, let it be known. Macintosh is the only way, people. Sorry.
That's what our producer Chuck thinks, too, but that's okay.
Oh, that's not true. I use
true?
PCs all the time, but Mac is definitely the way to go for recording.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that.
Well, maybe you can play them another time, because they're definitely interesting.
Well, definitely. I'll attach them to this audio file for our archives and let all the listeners hear them at the end of the...
Okay.
Maybe I'll just insert them in here, like, now. Yeah,
Or now.
Yeah, exactly. I'll put them in there, though, and let people listen to them, because, it sounds interesting. It sounds very interesting.
Okay, well, thanks for coming on, Ian, and
hey, no problem.
you guys take care.
All right, Laura, thanks.
Thanks, Laura.
Bye.
Yeah, okay,
That was
wow.
nice of her.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, she definitely saved us out of a jam there.
Yeah, totally.
Tonight has been a strange night here for us.
Yeah, it has been.
It's really...
You want to hear something real strange?
Oh, let's hear it.
The more the better.
No, I just found this out really about 10 minutes before you called. My kids are in the other room, and my stepson's 12, and so he's got a girlfriend over. You know how that goes.
Oh yeah.
And so I said, hey kids, Daddy's got to go pretend like he's a rock star. So please keep it down for me. And Dylan, my stepson, goes, well, what are you doing? And I said, well, I've got this interview to do, and he's like, that's really weird. And I said, what? He goes, I had a dream last night that you were doing an interview, but I didn't know of any interviews you had coming up. I said, that's really strange. So isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Yeah, that is. Yes.
I mean, because he's never had a dream like that before, where he's, hey, I saw you doing an interview. But yeah. So anyway, you just mentioned it being a strange day. I thought that would add to it.
Oh, definitely. And where can we check your music out at? Can we find that at springclockwonder.com?
Yeah, there's springclockwonder.com, and then there's also myspace.com/theglareofday.
The Glare of Day.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. We'll definitely check. I listened to one of the tracks on the Spring Clock site before I called you. Good stuff. Definitely good stuff. Yeah, and it's just check it out, guys. Springclockwonder.com and Glare of Day, the MySpace site. Do you have an actual page up for that, or just a MySpace for the other one?
Right now, it's just a MySpace site. We've kind of had our heads involved in getting our first disc done, so we've all been really involved with that. So we've just kind of said the MySpace site's gonna have to do for now, because we're just up to our eyeballs in recording this album. Although that should drop soon, and there's a Spring Clock EP for sale on the website. And then I also recently did a remix of Shock the Monkey for a contest that Peter Gabriel's having.
Oh, really?
Cool. Anyway, yeah, if you go to the springclockwonder.com on the front page, there's a link to the remix and whatnot. So I actually made it to the top 20 last week.
Wow. Oh, that's impressive. Cool. Is that based on like a voting system?
Yeah, people like register. It's like realworldremix.com. People like register, and they can vote and leave comments and whatnot. And there's a bunch of great remixes up there. So I was really kind of honored to make it to the top 20 at this point.
Yeah, that's amazing. God knows how many other people are competing in that.
Yeah.
I think at this point there was over 300 different remixes submitted so far.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's good.
That's a lot.
So I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Peter Gabriel fan, so I was kind of enthusiastic about getting to do that. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, well, good luck to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time out to be with us tonight, Ian,
no problem, man.
please The archive will be up probably next week sometime. Check it out. Download it. Send it to all your friends.
I will definitely do that, man. No problem, no problem at all.
All right, man.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yeah, take it easy.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that was Ian Baird.
Nice guy.
Nice guy. SpringClockWonder.com. Check that out when you get a chance. All right, we've got another 35 minutes left of the show.
35 minutes.
35 minutes. We would play the Crack House, but...
We have any other guests?
No, that's it.
Oh.
He was
interesting.
I don't know. That was actually.
I figured cool. I figured we would banter and BS for the rest of the show.
I think we can. There was one thing I totally forgot to ask him about.
We'll just call him back.
Oh, by the way,
we forgot something.
Oh, that was something I was going to ask you about. No, I mean, this is basically one of those multitudes of theories about ghosts, and it shows up from time and time again. But basically, that you have the one theory that a ghost is like a psychic personality of someone who's deceased, whose physical body no longer is here, right? And then you have another theory where that psychic energy or personality just imprints at a specific place, and so it is in fact it becomes like a photo negative. Yeah. I think Arthur C. Clarke brought that up when I was real little, and he brought that theory up that a ghost may be nothing more than a photo negative of just mental energy or something.
An imprint in time.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. An imprint in time, which brings up a whole slew of questions about things. But I was going to ask him, if there was some of that like imprinting. He said so. I think that's what he attributes that one thing with the stairs to. Yeah,
it's kind of weird though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, actually, that whole imprinting on time thing, it's no longer like a, crossing boundaries between the living and the dead, but something evolving the space-time continuum, which is very fascinating to me. But anyway, it's weird how these things just sort of merge and thread.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I was gonna talk about.
Okay.
Like a footnote to the interview.
We're having a contest next week.
What?
Yeah.
Are we?
Yep. People are gonna send us money, and whoever sends us the most, Chuck's gonna shave his beard and send them clippings of it.
Do we have a picture of Chuck on the website?
We don't, because Chuck won't give us one.
I'll get you one tomorrow, man. I promise.
Okay.
So, I mean, because...
You heard him say that,
yeah,
right?
for all they know, Chuck may never have had a beard.
That's right.
Unless there's a picture of Chuck clearly with a beard.
Shave Scott's dog and
told
him one.
All right, now that's a little mean, don't you think? Oh.
Well,
that's
for
not
those
really
of you that don't know what
contest,
Chuck looks like, he's like...
honestly,
an Irish Jesus or something. It's a long red hair and they got the beard and the mustache thing going on with glasses.
Yeah, with glasses.
Irish Jesus with glasses. That's Chuck.
I want to say, actually, if I didn't know Chuck.
Yeah. Well, it looks like this other guy named John that we both went to college with. That I was like, Chuck. I like grab the guy. The guy's like turns around. I'm like, oh, you're not Chuck.
My name is John.
The strange thing about that too is he and I both had the same birthday. Granted, about 4 years apart.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you guys look a lot. I mean, from behind, if you just see him like in a distance, like maybe. I mean, we're talking like maybe 10 feet.
Yeah.
You can't. Sometimes you couldn't tell. They were so, yeah.
That's sort of weird, They say everybody has a twin, double somewhere. I think
that was mine.
Yep.
I think I have triples and quadruples.
Oh yeah.
Remember that time in Quebec where we had just pulled into the gas station, and I walked in to pay for the gas, and the clerk had said, "Oh, you're back again," and I was like, "What are you talking about? I just came here." It's like, no, you came in here and got a pack of smokes and blah blah blah. What? You forget something? And he was thoroughly convinced that I was some dude that had just walked out like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And then remember that time at Burke Street where that guy was thoroughly convinced I was some guy named Eric that he worked with?
Oh yeah, the Burke Street pub, yeah.
That was my one.
Trent, the bad thing is though, Trent plays this up, man. He hangs out with the guy. The guy buys him like 2 or 3 beers, and he hangs out with him like all night, man.
It was like a spy mission.
It was like an hour and a half.
I was trying to figure out who I was. That was the game.
Yeah, and he was playing with him. He's like, oh yeah, man, da 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 da. He's like,
I was just asking these kind of leading questions, and apparently I was Eric, and I worked in the produce department at Fresh Market.
Yeah,
with this guy named Bad Dude, And
I'm like, dude,
that was
I'm
his
like,
name, really.
I'm like, I was like, how long are you gonna play this? He's like, oh man, it's kind of fun.
How long did it go on?
Like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, it went on
maybe
the entire night that we were there.
Maybe 3 hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he played it up the entire time.
It was ridiculous.
Didn't you eventually at the end of the night tell him?
No. I came in another night and said, look,
night.
I'm not this guy named Eric. It's like he totally looked crestfallen, like he was like, you're not. It's like, no.
I bought you 3 beers, dude.
No.
That's my wife's man.
Well, no, I made up. I got him back. I bought him a few. But I mean,
that was just
he
wrong.
was thoroughly convinced I was this guy. And even when I told him that I wasn't this guy,
He didn't believe you.
He didn't believe me.
Oh, you know what?
That was bizarre.
We just overshot our break by 10 seconds, so we got cut out on like some of these stations.
Okay, let's go.
All right, we're going to break. We'll be back. Tell you more weirdo stories after this. Little King
And we're
Crimson.
back with some KC.
KC in the house.
Okay, that was really stupid.
I know.
Why can't we hear us, Chuck?
I've got it turned down again.
Yeah. I like to hear the sound of my voice.
Yeah.
It feeds to that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that eventually.
Yeah, certainly.
We can do that.
We apparently got to fix a lot of things. Listeners, if you're out there, once again, we apologize for the massive technical difficulties earlier in the show.
Odd show tonight, man.
Yeah, certainly.
It's gonna be fun.
So we're gonna banter some more.
Banter.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, me having clones, apparently, or me being able to impersonate
to be other
people
and getting free stuff from them.
It's really, I don't know if that's really a useful skill.
In some U.S. societies, that would be called using a person.
No, actually, I made a game out of it. I totally had the impression of getting him back, and I did.
Yeah.
But it was entertaining.
Yeah.
That's true. What if I never saw that dude again?
Right.
Then I would feel very guilty about it. Honestly.
Yeah. And you should, as you should. No.
And don't.
This was years ago. I mean, this is what 10 years ago.
It wasn't 10 years ago.
At least 6.
Yeah, it was a while back.
6 or 7 years
and of course that time in Quebec that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
And numerous times where people apparently I remind them of other people. Mm-hmm. So it's just a weird thing going on with me. I don't know if it's paranormal or not. Probably isn't. Just I remind people of other people. Maybe I'm just that uninteresting.
This is a boring.
No, dude.
No.
This is a boring rant that we're on tonight.
Well, Scott, jazz it up.
I'm trying, man.
Just jazz it up.
The steam is gone.
No, the steam is here. The steam is here. We got the train. The train is going to move, and you're going to go. All right, here I am. I'm pointing you. I don't care if you're tired. There are people out there listening to us talk about who knows what.
I don't know if they're listening.
They might not be listening.
Yeah, I don't think they are, man. I think they're turning this off.
Yeah, they might be.
Hey, man, screw this. Click. They're like, man, we came to listen.
Dumbest thing ever.
They're like, man, we came to listen to the Meyer contacts guy, and he's not here.
So it's got these guys jabbering about.
Yeah, it's like turn
cars.
It off. Turn it off. Call us up and let us know you're listening. 800-960-2289.
Or 336-996-1596.
Call us. Let us know. We want to know. Yeah. Are you there? Are you listening to us?
Are we really that lame?
Are we that boring tonight? I think we are.
Scott, I'm ever the optimist. So,
ever the optimist. Okay.
So I'm just saying that I don't think we are. I mean, we have a multitude of interesting stories. We've met really, really bizarre people even before the show even began.
And continue to.
A numerous plethora of
that's how we got
interesting. Yeah, that's true. Chuck, let's recount the story of when we met you. Let's see, it was Cairo.
In the woods, in my underwear, with my deep sea.
Oh God. And a bottle of Jack Daniels tied around his neck. That's why I was chasing him. That's another story all in itself.
His first line, oh, okay, Scott, that's it. That's enough of that. But I mean, his first line Chuck ever said to us was who are you? That was it. It was like,
yeah.
No, that's not it.
No, actually, I met Chuck in college.
And, that would be entertaining if that's how we met Chuck.
I met Chuck in college. It was in French class. What was her name?
See, I can't remember.
I think it was Ms. No, I don't think it was Mrs. I don't think she had that honor.
You're right.
Oh my.
That's right, because we kept trying to get you to take one for the team.
That's right.
Because we knew we were all going to fail. So it was between him and this other friend of ours named Dean. We're like, dude,
but you were
hook up with the teacher,
class.
dude.
You had no dog in that hunt.
I know I didn't. That's why I told you it wasn't going to be me. That's why I told you it wasn't going to be me. All right. I have nothing to lose here, gentlemen.
Well,
I just want to see which one of you will do it.
yeah, that's nice. Using people,
man.
It
Scott.
might have been more interesting though to try and get Dean to go up to it. He was married.
Yeah, he was married.
Oh,
yeah, that's why he wouldn't do it. Yeah. No, we would.
Did you guys fail that class?
No.
Oh, okay.
She was just.
So you didn't need to do it in the first place.
She was. She was just a mean teacher. She was mean.
Did she just look sternly at you?
She had just finished her master's.
I think, she was, in that old academia thing, think they know everything and don't know anything yet kind of thing.
Right.
She was also into piling a lot of work on her students too, because she had just gotten through masters and pretty bad.
And so I guess she was
we're
dishing it back out for
we're
some.
like Guilford students, man. We're like we're lazy, laid back,
work
high on life,
man.
High on life. Yeah.
And that's how I
don't think she's no longer employed there, is she?
No, she wasn't there very long after. I think we took that class. Dean and I both pulled D's in that one.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
French 101.
D still equals degree, baby, or as we used to say in law school, D still equals JD. That's right, and I've got mine, just no license, and there's a reason. Apparently.
Don't sell yourself short.
I'm not.
Scott,
I'm not. It's okay.
Well, Chuck, do you have any interesting ghost stories? I mean, seriously, we never really have ever asked you.
Well, actually, when I was a kid, man. Oh, excuse me.
Notice how we take good care of our equipment in the studio.
That's why we have all these problems. We just kind of throw it around. And
just throw it around.
There you go.
So there's that big dent in the top of the mic there, It's because it gets thrown around.
That's true.
That is for real.
That really is for real,
There's a huge dent right there in the mic. Anyway, Chuck, go ahead.
I'll just beat it some more.
I may. Anyway, Chuck, go ahead with the story.
Well, when I was a little kid, I think it was over to a friend of my mom's house, and I think her mother had just died, but I had no way of knowing it.
Right.
And I went to go use their bathroom, and accosted by some old woman going into the bathroom.
I don't know if I like where this story's going, Chuck.
And she said something about tell so-and-so, her first name of the woman my mom was there visiting, to tell her that I love her and that I'm all right. Or something that effect.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Wow.
I'm not pulling your leg.
Man.
And
that's not
I kind of forgotten about it or something, but she was like, make sure you tell her. And I was like, okay, what's the deal?
It's like, all right, old lady, fine.
So I come back downstairs, and it was about 2 minutes. And I was like, oh yeah. So-and-so. There was this old woman upstairs
in the bathroom,
and she said that her name was such and such, and that she loved you very much. And the woman broke down in tears. And I was like, what did I do? Yeah. And my mom was giving me this terrible look.
You demon child.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm pulling this woman's leg.
Like you would know.
Exactly.
You had no idea.
But no, that's.
How old were you?
Probably 10 years old, maybe 9 or 10.
Huh. And so she just stopped you on your way to the bathroom.
The apparition, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It looked totally No, it's not like in Ghostbusters or something where you see halfway through them. It was totally like looking at a person. Yeah.
Old lady just standing there.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
So they mess with you later in life?
I'm sure. That's probably why. It's probably one of the things that kept me out of the really good schools.
I mean, does that mess with you now? You ever think about that?
I think about it every once in a while. I hadn't really thought about it in a while. I think until I started doing the show with you guys.
I mean, you're driving home one night. It's late. You're by yourself in the SUV going down the highway. It's dark, and it's it's kind of windy outside, a little creepy. Nothing on the radio, so you just turn it off. Cut across the curve on top of the hill. Moonlight just glints across the leaves, just the right moment. And you think about, is there somebody that I see in the peripheral vision of my eye sitting in the back seat of my car?
I suppose that does happen every once in a while. Now that you mention it.
Okay, just checking. Yes.
That was so eloquent and yet creepy at the same time.
It was very creepy.
Think about that tonight on the way home.
Thank you. I thought that was the idea behind it.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I'm driving. I'm driving a good little distance myself tonight, so it should be fun.
Hold on.
Mine's mainly highway though.
No hitchhikers.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man.
Stupid.
Having trouble over there with that bike?
Yes, I am.
We screwed that thing all up.
That was a good story, though, Chuck.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Wow, I'm glad you told that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
see now the real trooper listeners that hung in there, man. They got that gem right there.
Yeah.
Everybody else, man, nah. They didn't get nothing. Nothing, you guys. 800-960-2289. Tell us your story.
Yep.
Open lines.
336-996-1596. Well, Scott, now that we're around the old proverbial campfire.
Yeah. You got one.
Oh, I got a couple.
I know you got tons.
I got a couple. But I'm interested, Scott. Go ahead and share one.
I really don't have that many.
Or yeah, most of them you have are like when we go gallivanting out and come across them.
Well, I did have the one. It was kind of creepy.
Yeah, go ahead with that.
It's just like I don't know. Maybe I was probably dreaming. It probably didn't even happen. So see, there you go. Right there, I already shot it down.
Tell it.
All right. I was laying in bed. This is years ago. I was laying in bed one night, and I don't know. I'm a strange kind of person. Sometimes I like to let my feet hang out of the sheet. You know what I mean? My feet get hot, man. So, you know, I
do the same thing, man.
See, okay, there we go.
In fact, there's a term here in North Carolina, man. It's called "cool as the other side of the pillow."
Okay. God, man.
Yeah, that just made me think of it, man.
I've never heard that term, but
no,
it's true though if you think about it, because the other side of the pillow is generally cooler.
It's much nicer,
yeah.
Go ahead, Scott.
So anyway, so I got my feet hanging out, and I don't know, some weird feeling came over me, and it felt like two hands clasped me right about, I guess, around the shin area, and jerked me down, and I my body moved about a foot in the bed. It's like a jerk, a real quick jerk. Like somebody grab it, like somebody grab you by the shit, just pull you.
Was this
yeah?
Was this when you were down at still in Midway or back here in Kernersville?
I think this is in Midway. I don't remember. It's been so long, but I do remember that. What I did, I just played asleep and didn't do anything. I was just I didn't move. Yeah, so. Yeah, I didn't do anything. Yeah, man. And, I never do. I never slip on the radio like that.
Well, that's the first one I think I've heard.
Yeah, I think it's the first time it's ever happened. Oh well. Let's just call more attention to it so we can be banned. I'll edit that out of the archive. But
But none of this, so they're all wondering what happened.
Exactly. See, that's the real trooper listeners. They got to hear. I still don't even have my voice back. I've had the worst week, man. I've hurt my leg. I've got like a gimp leg.
Yeah.
My tooth's chipped. I still got this bronchitis, trying to get over it. I was taking prednisone, right?
Made your heart race, didn't it?
It did, because, I was taking like all 3 pills at one time. I didn't realize that I was supposed to take them over the course of the day. Yeah, right? You think, you went to college for 7 years, man. You should know how to take medicine. Yeah, right? I mean,
stack them all up at 9 p.m. or something?
No, man, like when I got out around 1, I took all 3 of them. And then like by 5, I'm like, ooh, man, I don't feel so great,
Apparently, I need to drink this with a lot of coffee. It says right there on the label.
But it was bad. I'm feeling much better.
No, that would be awful.
I'm feeling much better now, though, and yeah, still don't feel great. But I've got one more story, I guess, and then I'll pass the torch back to you, or Chuck, or somebody.
Thanks,
one of our
Scott.
callers.
There's only 3 of us here.
Yeah, well, like somebody, our caller.
Chuck or somebody.
The person on 800-960-2289. That person, I'll pass it to them.
I understand now. I'm sorry. I got it now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Scott.
It's Ralph, man, the guy back there counting the money for us.
Ralph, you're on line 1. So
that's
we've hired someone to count the money now.
My dad.
Your dad's name's Ralph. That's right. Yeah.
Did you know that? No, you didn't.
Cosmic, man.
Ooh.
Maybe he is.
Let's do it again. Ooh. Anyway.
All this gold doubloons.
After my grandmother died, I was very close to my grandmother. It was really odd because the moment she died, it was like 5 something in the morning. Obviously, I'm not up at that point in time unless I'm going to bed generally. But it was like 5 something in the morning, and I sat straight up in the bed because there was this like chill that ran from the bottom of my feet all the way up to the top of my head, and I sat straight up in the middle, in the middle of the night, really middle of the morning. I sat straight up in the bed, and I just knew that she died. I just knew she died, and it was just it was a very strange feeling.
Yeah.
I just knew it at that moment, and that's what happened. Who knows?
You get a caller now.
I know. You're on World of the Unexplained. Who are you and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Chris from Maine.
Hey, Chris. How you doing?
I was the one that gave you guys the story on the dog there.
Oh, cool.
Okay, cool.
You're actually listening to the show. Thank you. We were wondering if anyone was tonight. We've had a strange night full of craziness.
Go ahead, Chris.
What you got for us?
Well, I mean, you guys have been talking about like ghosts and stuff, but
yeah.
I had an interesting thing happen to me when I was real young. When I was about, I don't know, 5 or 6, I was definitely a product of like the TV generation, because I used to have this reoccurring vision in my head of this TV commercial.
Okay.
That was like a don't do drugs commercial, basically. And in it,
is this the one with the eggs?
What's that?
This is the one with the eggs. Is your brain on drugs?
No. This is something in and of its own thing. So I used to whenever I would see it, it would as I would see it in my head, it would flip like the old reel-to-reel films.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when it would come to a stop, and there would always be this echo in the background. Well, when it would come to a stop, it would be these two looked like teenagers sitting on a bench. One of them hands something to the other one and says, "Do you want a hit?"
Okay.
Very, very, little mundane thing with all the don't do drugs stuff that was on TV back then. But then all of a sudden, fast forward about, I think it was 10, 11 years, I'm very heavily into drugs with all my friends in the neighborhood. And
now or then?
I'm out sitting on a bench, getting in gas fumes with a buddy of mine trying to get high. Well, the exact thing happened in my head from being so messed up. I felt that flipping, the echo, and when it finally stopped, I turned to him and he handed it to me and said, "Hey, do you want another hit?" I freaked out. All the hair in my body just stood up and I just ran.
Wow. And so it played out exactly
right, exactly as I saw it when I was a little kid.
Huh. Now, did that stop you from doing drugs?
At the time, no.
Man, I had a wicked trip last night, right?
It just really, really flipped me out. I was just, it definitely made me more cautious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just one of those things that as soon as I saw it for real, I couldn't handle it. I ran, and I couldn't stop running.
Huh. That's
understandable reaction.
Anything else ever happened like that to you since then? Anything?
No, I mean it was the only thing. I meing, and I remember it vividly from when I was real young. I can remember sitting there eating my cereal at the table and just having this thing just flip in my head.
Huh. That's crazy.
That's totally.
No. What Chris was talking about earlier is he was talking about this dog thing. He was in our chat room. I'm sorry we can't get in the chat room tonight. We're locked out because of technical issues, and we're afraid we might go down. Server might go down and blow up. But he was talking about this the picture of this dog that looked like a werewolf, kind of cross between a werewolf and a dog and some kind of other animal that he had posted a news clip from. This was in Maine paper.
No, it was actually a Reuters.
It was in
Turner.
Yeah, Turner.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was in the town of Turner, Maine. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it was a Reuters news clip, but it was a picture, and it did, and you say they found out it was a dog.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure they found out it's a wolf-dog hybrid.
Yeah, Lauren Coleman actually went out there to investigate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one that the one on his website was where I found out, that they had DNA tested it, and it in fact was a wolf-dog hybrid.
Yeah,
but they said that it was probably like a chow or something, and chows can look really strange.
Yeah.
It definitely looked like no dog I'd ever seen before.
Right. I just thought it was something interesting. I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention.
Oh yeah, man,
that's
awesome.
We love hearing stuff like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As your tale.
Yeah, the story was great, and see all the stuff that our Labor Day non-listeners are missing.
That's true. That's true.
It's good stuff here. Good stuff here tonight.
Gosh,
we're gonna have
really
to cut out a lot
bizarre.
of the breaks and stuff and the technical difficulties. We should have a nice little compact show by the time it's done, though. Yeah.
Should be.
Well, Chris, you got anything else for us?
No, that's it. I just wanted to relay that story to you guys.
Well, thanks for listening, man. Thanks for listening and thanks for calling.
Not a problem. Take care, guys.
Okay,
you too.
Wow.
Okay.
That kind of goes back to that weird time travel thing I was talking about.
You know what's that?
I don't know. I mean, maybe there was some kind of weird time loop,
Oh, yeah.
Precognition or something, yeah.
But I mean, then that goes in the whole notion of like the
deja vu and the whole.
The future is not actually as concrete. I mean, it's very concrete, obviously, for that to happen just like it did.
The future of radio is here now. OmniSound, though. Sorry. Plug in that word.
Well, that's fine.
That word.
That was appropriate. You know, it reminds me actually that time when we were in Germany. You remember this at all? You may not even. I mean, it affected me greatly.
I remember some things from Germany. There was a lot of black moments there, blackout moments. So, yeah. Well, still, that doesn't tell me anything, dude. We were 20 years old in Germany. You tell me.
Okay. No. We were going to the Rathaus in Nuremberg.
Okay.
And we.
Oh, that's a big castle on the hill.
No, this was that was the government building basically where and they had the pictures of all the kings of Germany.
Yeah. Okay, I remember. Yeah.
Only you had to buy a ticket with a 5 Deutschmark coin. Now,
that's back before the euro.
Right. And the Deutschmark coin had this eagle on the back of it, you know. Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing Derek in front of me, and you were behind me, and I remember taking that coin and holding it up to Derek, you know, for whatever reason. I don't know. Like, I was holding it up, I was just goofing around, and maybe I was going to put it in the machine, and all of a sudden, this bizarre feeling just kind of crept over me. In fact, it was a sensation of, like, almost, it's cheesy to describe it like this, but like the Wayne's World thing where, like, I'm serious, but it was like that. Like, everything got very wavy and fuzzy.
Extreme zoom in.
You know, and it was like I suddenly got the impression that I was there before, and I was in the same position holding up a coin to somebody that looked like Derek, and somebody was behind me, and it just, like, it floored me. Does this ring a bell, Scott? I actually sat down.
It vaguely
for like
does.
About 10 minutes after that. You know,
it does sound familiar. I remember you explaining it to me at the time.
It was like
vaguely.
It wasn't deja vu. It was just. It's like I said before, like some kind of bizarre time loop. You know, I got the impression because all the buildings were very old. They weren't old. They were actually reconstructed, but they were reconstructed in the way like. What's that noise?
I thought it was you. It's not me, Chuck.
No.
You.
Ran crash there.
Oh, okay.
No, it sounds like metal.
As long as it's over there.
I heard it sounded like metal.
Not on my side.
On concrete.
Yeah, not on my side. We're good.
But anyway, yeah, that's nice. Anyway, but that was a really bizarre experience. I mean, it was just like a, I don't know, like a deja vu, but it wasn't a deja vu. It was like me being somewhere else, but knowing I was there before, in that same position, everything exactly the same. You know?
Interesting.
I don't know. It goes back to the whole.
I think it's him. Yeah. I think it's your chair.
Yeah.
Yep, it's you. It's the chair. Yep, see? Yep, I was right.
All of our high-tech, sophisticated equipment.
That's
obviously,
right.
my
Studio
space chair.
grade.
My space chair.
The NASA engineered. NASA engineered studio comfort grade.
Space chair.
That's right. That's right.
But anyway, that was.
And you can get them here, 800-960-2289. Only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. So, and if you're the first 5 callers, you'll also receive
I guess that's a paranormal story I could share. It has nothing to do with ghosts, I guess, but it does have something to do with bizarre
things.
Yeah. You know, and I, to this day I don't know what it was, but it gave me the goose flesh, you know.
Yeah.
And just everything. I mean, just it was like being in another body. Like I just jumped from where I was to
there.
Wherever it was, wherever there was. But apparently there looked a lot like where, the Rathaus in Nuremberg.
Cue the music, man.
Okay, let's go.
Got 2 minutes. We'll get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah. Scott.
Yeah.
Well, that's been Scott.
That's fine. It's fine. Okay.
I am.
I'm gonna stop.
All right.
Next week we have Thomas Allen, the author of the book Possessed,
which was made into a movie with Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't seen it yet, check out the movie.
It's a really, really good flick.
And it's don't let the cheesiness, scare you away, because it was a made for Showtime TV movie, but it's really good.
Totally worth it.
I own this on DVD. It's so good.
Yeah.
And it's called Possessed. It's at your local Blockbuster video store. Possessed got Timothy Dalton, the guy that played James Bond, I think, for one whole movie.
2 actually.
Oh, 2?
It was, Living Daylights and View to a Kill.
Okay, no, it's a good movie. He plays the hero priest character, and it's based off of the actual real events that led William Peter Blatty to write The Exorcist, and for that movie to be made, it's based on the events. So this covers the true story of that. Tom's going to be on the show with us, Thomas Allen, and he's going to talk about not only the book, but he's also going to talk about the addition to the book which are actual diaries of the priests that were there during the actual exorcism itself.
It's very cool.
Thomas Allen, author of Possessed. It should be fun.
Yeah. I guess it's time to head on out there. Listener, once again, we apologize for the technical difficulties.
Hopefully we'll have
thanks for our last-minute guest, Ian Baird, and
Chris Rutkowski.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that
Rutkowski.
name. Hopefully we can get him back on and talk to him more than like the 8 to 4 minutes.
That's right.
That we had him.
All right, well.
Thanks again for our callers, and thanks, Chuck, for that really cool story.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
You're definitely welcome.
And thanks to you, Chris, for calling in and telling us your really cool story.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is Jay Scott, your only JD DJ on the Omni Sound Radio 1 network.
And this is Trent Lackey. We're coming to you from Kernersville, North Carolina. Small town where we talk about big things.
And this is Chuck.
And this is Chuck.
Saying,
up? I'll take it easy.
We out.